Hello everybody, my name is Sunny Rabbit, and in case you couldn't tell, it's video time. In a video right all over the screen. So I got a lot of comments, yes I read those, on the family and relationships video about Silverflame. I thought I would go over her part in the Super Edition, Yellowfang's secret. She's an orange and gray she-cat, but the wiki has her being this brown color for some reason. Here's her family tree icon for reference. Silverflame is the mother of Brightflower, who is Yellowfang's mother. Silverflame is already an elder by the time Yellowfang is born. Yellowfang and her siblings play in the Elder's Den with Littlebird and Lizardfang and Silverflame. The elders are seen pretending to be Wind Clan cats. It's already clear early on that Silverflame is sick with some sort of illness, but it isn't explained what it is. She eats very little but is drinking a lot of water. Shortly after becoming an apprentice, Yellowfang visits her grandmother one last time in the Elder's Den. Silverflame dies, then doesn't make an appearance for quite some time afterwards. Yellowfang takes her death pretty hard. She had a good relationship with her grandmother from all the play battles that they did. Yellowfang spent a lot of time with the elders actually. Littlebird and Lizardfang considered themselves friends, even though they weren't said to be kin to Silverflame or Yellowfang. Silverflame comes back later to welcome Yellowfang into StarClan as a medicine cat apprentice. She has a note of regret in her voice when saying that a medicine cat needs to trust her own instincts. After coming back later when becoming a full medicine cat, Silverflame is saddened by having to reveal to Yellowfang that she's pregnant with Ragged Star's kits. Yellowfang doesn't understand what the sign means at first, until she realizes she's pregnant at a gathering later on. Yellowfang is pretty mad about Silverflame not outright telling her that she was expecting a litter, but it's not like either of them could have done anything about it at that point. Yellowfang gets omens and dreams about the terror Broken Star's reign will bring, but Silverflame comforts her the best she can. They also can't do anything about it at that point. Yellowfang does try to bring to the deputy's attention that Broken Tail was practically abusing his apprentice, but nothing happens. Apparently you can't prevent bad things from happening, you have to let the bad thing happen then act accordingly, which is pretty on par for warrior cats. That's all we really have for Silverflame in the books. She was mentioned in 2 other books, Pine Star's Choice, but not by name, in Tall Star's Revenge. Her inclusion in Tall Star's Revenge is an error. They most likely meant Brightflower had 3 kits, since Silverflame was already in the Elder's Den when Tall Star's Revenge takes place. Yellowfang's secret jumps around a lot, so you get no insight into who was actually coming to her in the Half Moon meeting dreams. Silverflame sticks out as a grandparent because she's one of the few that was in the Elder's Den when her grandkits were born. Most cats have kits young, in their first 2 years or so, then become grandparents when they are 4, 5, or 6. It's possible for someone like Lionblaze to become a great-grandfather even before going to the Elder's Den. If Mortal Bloom, Bayshine, Thrifty, or Flipclaw has a kit now, then Lionblaze could possibly be a warrior while his great-grandkids are warriors too. Silverflame also had the time to spend with her grandkits instead of patrolling or hunting. I'm wondering how old she was by the time she went to the Elder's Den. It's possible that whatever illness she had made her retire early. It's also possible that she had Brightflower later on in life. There's not a lot to say about her, so I'm gonna move on. The next grandparent I wanted to talk about was Tawnypelt. I took the time to read her novella, Tawnypelt's Clan. She feels lost in her own clan given how much has changed in the last year or 2. Rowanclaw died, Darktail took over, her kid Dawnpelt died, and ShadowClan dissolved. She was deputy twice, during Rowan Star's leadership, then being reinstated when Tiger Star came to lead the newly reformed ShadowClan. Tawnypelt was already a grandmother before Darktail took over. Dawnpelt had 3 kits, Strikestone, Juniperclaw, and Sleekwhisker. Strikestone and Juniperclaw have died now, but Sleekwhisker is still out there. Maybe she'll come back in a later book. I wouldn't be surprised if she brought Soul with her. What can I say? She seems to have the thing for dark, evil, mysterious weirdos who have it out for the clan. Girl has impeccable taste. Juniperclaw doesn't really get along with Tawnypelt in the book. Most of ShadowClan doesn't. Tawnypelt is a deputy, but she doesn't have the respect that a deputy should have. Her orders go ignored and she's easily irritated during the first few chapters. She doesn't seem resentful of Tiger Star's kits, mostly bothered that Dovewing is their mother. Tiger Star bringing back the ShadowClan cats who left when Darktail took over also soured her mood. The ShadowClan she knew was different than the one that currently exists. Tawnypelt is extremely worried for Shadowkit's well-being throughout the story. The deputy even admires the way Dovewing is patient with him while traveling to the mountains. She wonders about her place in the clan while Shadowkit is getting visions of the tribe cats. When all ends well with the warning that Shadowcat brought, Tawnypelt knows that she belongs in ShadowClan. The novella ends with her stepping down as deputy, which is a good call. Not because she's a bad deputy, but because she's old as dirt. Tawnypelt tries to aid Shadowsight in the broken code. They plan to smuggle the medicine cat out to the tribal rushing water so the other clans don't maim or kill him. This doesn't work, so into the baby jail Shadowsight goes. That's all I have to say on this topic. We do have grandparents who spend time with their kids, so it's nice to see the interaction, even in small bits. I wish I had more to say about this, but that's all I could really pull up for these 2 cats in particular. I'll be going back to weekly videos, so I'll see you all next week when we talk about cats or something, I don't know.